Ball four. So after two outs on a great play in center field by Buckland, Season's got a base runner. Jackson Stanton, the catcher, will be the hitter. Dropping in for, I thought it was dropping in. Buckland made another play, went way over in front of the left fielder. Like another nice running catch by Buckland. I was watching a runner go to third, thinking the ball had dropped in. Buckland made two nice plays. So the walk doesn't hurt. The Sachem's are down in the first. And I believe the Sachem's are in first place in the South Division. They're divided up in the North and South at 6-2. So they've been playing very good baseball. So I'm going to go that the first baseman, Grafale, just changed his jersey because he's at first base. He's wearing 34 and not 19. Skylar Smith on the mound. He'll face Nico Galizzi, the catcher, leading off. Brett Buckland, who made those two nice plays, will bat second from center field. And Deshaun Anderson, the third baseman, hits third. In the cleanup spot is the pitcher, Aiden Dow. Brendan Landon will play first base and hit fifth. Hitting sixth is the shortstop, Jared DiFilippo. The second baseman, Daniil Ortiz, will hit number 7. Ronald Torres is the DH, hitting for the left fielder, James Wilkins, batting 8th. And Kyle Durant, the right fielder, will pick up the tail end of the batting order. So Galizzi will try to get it started for Classical. And we mentioned something's got to give. Both teams are 6-2. Low and inside for a ball. Pitching from the stretch is Smith. That's going to be a base hit into left center field. Galizzi gets it going with a base hit. It'll bring up Brett Buckland, who's already made his mark on this game. And we're only in the bottom of the first. He made one great play, another nice running catch, so he made two very nice plays in the outfield. Let's see if they keep Galizzi at first base. Galizzi takes off. They fake the bunt. The throw is down. They got him in second base. Nice play by the shortstop, Paolo. We fielded the ball on the hop and reached back and got him just before Galizzi got to the bag. So 2-6 is the putout. Eliminates the base runner for Classical. They like to have the batter fake the bunt, hoping they'll distract the catcher. Down and away for a ball. And speaking of distractions, we apologize for your distraction at home. The netting in front is still an abomination. It's blown all here, there, and everywhere. It's hanging way down. I know it's hanging in front of your screen. The seats under the overhang here are condemned. They've got a bid out to try and get people out. I don't know if they're going to eliminate the overhang or try to fix it or what, but it's a long time coming. Down and in for a ball. And it's going to cause the Navigators some headaches when they have firework night. And it's going to cause maybe Lynn not to have any state high school baseball games. Because they usually draw big crowds here as well. So if Buckland draws a walk, so that throw out at second base is even more important now. Instead of 2-1, it's 1-1 for Deshaun Anderson. In for a strike. Buckland got a little shorter lead at first base. So after watching the catcher Stanton throw out the runner, Glasgow may be a little reluctant to run. Not getting that far off the bag. Way up over the head of Anderson. He's having a very good year, both offensively and defensively. Down and away for a ball. Throw over to first. Buckland gets back standing up. Taking off was Buckland, has to hustle back. Going back. The first baseman going back into short right field in foul territory, making the play. Buckland had to hustle back. Low for a ball. Hit sharply on the ground. Sliding to his right. The second baseman, Ryan Belleville, makes the nice play and throws Dow out. So Classical gets a couple of people on base. One of them is thrown out trying to steal. One is left at first base. So we're starting the second inning exactly where we started the first inning, dead even. Classical nothing, Saugus nothing at the end of one. Jack Devereaux is the DH. He's hitting for the third baseman, Travis Pagliarulo. He's leading off the second inning. High for a ball. So Dow will start his second inning of work. I believe he's looking for his third win of the season. Hit sharply to third, takes a big hop. Anderson stays with it and rifles it across. It kind of exploded as it got to him right around the belt buckle. Knocked it down, but stayed with it and threw a rope over the first baseman, Lannon. So Devereaux hit it right on the nose and gets thrown out by the third baseman. The play goes 5-3 for the out. Grant Rust, the center fielder, is the hitter. Lined in the center field for a base hit. Right by the right ear of Dow. So the Sachem's have their second base runner, this time with one out. This time a base hit. And it'll bring up Skylar Smith, the pitcher. Wide for a ball. Quick toss over. Dow has done a nice job this year of picking people off at first base. He's picked off 5 or 6. I think he got 2 or 3 in one game. In for a strike. Almost threw that one away. Lannon saved it. The runner got a great jump at first base and stole second base. They threw it over 3 or 4 times. Now he got a great jump. And Galise, the only thing he could do was throw the ball to third to make sure he only got second. He had no chance to even throw the ball. He knocked it down, didn't handle it cleanly, but it didn't make any difference because he'd never been able to throw the runner out. The runner takes off for third, and he's in with a stolen base. Another big jump. So Saugus with the hit and running, stealing second, stealing third. Smith with a chance to help himself. The pitcher put the ball in play. He can get Saugus a lead here in the second inning. Again, a huge jump from second base. Line off the glove of Lannon at first base. Almost made a great play. Had to drift out into foul territory. Stretched as far as he could. Got a glove on it. Couldn't hold on. And Smith gets a chance to swing again. Finally a good day here at Frazier Field. Blue skies, a couple of puffy white clouds. Still a little bit of a breeze, but it's comfortable. Hit to first, they'll tag the runner for the out. Smith will get himself an RBI. So Rust manufactures a run for Saugus, a hit, 2 stolen bases, and scoring on a ground ball. Swing and a miss by Ryan Beliveau, the second baseman. So Saugus draws first blood here in this one. Swing and a miss again. Lana didn't really have a chance for the runner at the plate. The runner was off on contact. The ball wasn't hit that hard. The only thing he could do is tag the runner going to first. The 1-2 pitch. High again. Yeah, we got our first deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And in the batter's box is number 2. And we're in inning number 2. So we got deuces all over the place. Hit right back to the pitcher off his glove. They're not going to get him. It's going to be a base hit. Dow slowed it down, got a glove on it. Had to reach across his body. Ortiz had no chance at all for the runner at first base. Anthony Cogliano will be the hitter. In for a strike. Throw over. They picked him off. That's that move. So they caught Beliveau leaning. But the hit, the 2 stolen bases and the ground out has given Skylar Smith a 1-0 lead as he'll take the mound to start the bottom of the second inning. So they get the run with the 1 hit. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. For the Rams, as they now have to play catch-up. Northeastern Conference baseball. We've been in and out. We had supposedly a doubleheader on Friday that got rained out. Glasgow girls supposed to play a makeup game on Saturday. Rained out. Babe Ruth has been trying to have their opening ceremonies for like 3 weeks. Jeff Earp having all kinds of problems trying to get the opening ceremonies. And just rain, rain, and rain. And now this gorgeous day today, and then tomorrow is supposed to rain again. And the end of the week is supposed to be rain again. We may have to wait till June to have 2 consecutive days without rain. Brendan Lannon, the first baseman, will lead it off. Down and away for a ball. Action again going on over at Manning Field. I think it's track and field over there now. Hit in the air to center field. Coming in a few steps and making the play is Grant Russ, the center fielder. One up, one down in the second. Talking about track over at Main Field, congratulations to all of the track coaches of all 5 teams, because remember there's 5 high schools now with KIPP. They're going to have an all-Lynn track meet, including all 5 of the schools, coming up in May. Watch for that one and make sure you get out. You're going to see some outstanding performances, some terrific young men, young women. Down and away for a ball. This is Jared DiFilippo, the shortstop. So we have the Clancy tournament, the Holland tournament, the Boverini tournament, and now they're going to get together and run a city track meet with the high schools. Missing inside, 3-0. On 4 pitches, DiFilippo draws a walk. Second walk given up by Smith. So the Clancy, the Boverini, the Holland, and even the hockey tournament that Joe Collin has run it. Now Coach Roberts runs it with the Lynn Jets. Limited to 4 teams. So somebody has to be out, although Lynn only has 1 hockey team. But the track meet can include everybody. They can have 5 teams, so that's outstanding. Hit in the air to short right field. Long run for the right fielder. Second baseman can't make the play, but they get the force at second base. DiFilippo couldn't go anywhere. He had to see if the ball was going to be caught. The right fielder, that's a rare 9-6 for the putout. And it wasn't like it was left field where it could go halfway to second base. It was right behind him at first base, so he couldn't go very far. So that was Daniil Ortiz, the second baseman, who popped it up. He has a hit taken away because it's a force out. And Ronald Torres, the DH, will be the hitter. He's hitting for the left fielder, James Wilkins. Good breaking ball, drops in for a strike. Another toss over, diving back is Ortiz. So Saugus got a break that hitter was, the runner was on first base and it was the right field. They were able to get the force at second. So instead of 2 on and 1 out, it's 1 on with 2 outs. The runner faked like he was going to go and then held up. The pitch was fouled back. They almost threw a pitch out. That was almost a strike. They called a pitch out. Stanton went out to go get it. He had to reach back inside to get it. But the runner was not going. They threw it down anyway. Almost threw it away. Way inside for a ball. And we got another deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again in inning number 2. And now the count goes full, so the automatic hit and run is on. The runner will be off with the pitch, but he has to make sure it's a pitch. Doesn't want to get picked off here. Hit solidly to third base. And a nice pick at first base by Graffio. Torres hit it right on the nose. Pagliarulo, the third baseman, made a nice play, and then his throw low, and C.J. Graffio picked it out of the turf. So Classical leads another base runner. We finished 2 here at Frazier Field. The Sachems of Saugus leading the Rams of Classical 1-0. 9-1-2 for Saugus as we start the 3rd inning. Anthony Cogliano, the right fielder, who fielded that, what would have been a base hit by Ortiz, and was able to throw DiFilippo out, who couldn't get too far off the bag with the pop-up right behind him. Anderson, another nice play. If that goes to the shortstop, it's going to be a little closer play. That Saugus got a shot at beating it out if it goes to the shortstop. But Anderson cut in front of the shortstop, made the good strong throw, and Cogliano, the right fielder, is out 5-3. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 3rd. Ronnie Paolo was called on strikes leading off the ball game. He was the recipient of that throw from the right fielder with the force out at second. Thought about it, held up, the pitch was low for a ball. After that track over at Manning Field, I think we're getting ready for lacrosse over there now. In for a strike. Manning and Frazier had many times that they're not fully in use. Hit back foul. That pitch broke high and inside. He stepped away and almost from his right ear, he popped it up to land on at first base. Zach Falaska, the left fielder. There was an outstanding baseball player from St. Mary, Skippy Falaska, who played back with Tony Canigliaro. And Skippy's father was a longtime coach. Skippy was a great player. I don't know if there's any relation. The family was, I believe, initially from Winthrop in that area. There might have been some relatives in Saugus. Skippy was on that team. Everybody came to watch Tony Canigliaro. And Skippy used to bat in front of Tony. And he came, and Skippy was hitting the ball over the park. He got signed, I think, by the Tigers. Popped up into short left field. DiFilippo goes back and makes the play. Nice job by the shortstop. So a 1-2-3 inning for Dow in the 3rd. And as it was for Saugus in the 3rd, shall it be for Classical in the 3rd? 9-1-2. Saugus had 2 hits and a walk for 3 base runners. Classicals had 2 walks and a hit for 3 base runners. One of those, the base hit, got thrown out stealing. The difference in the game is Grant Rust getting one of the 2 hits in the third, stealing second, stealing third, and scoring on the pitcher's ground ball at the first. And that's the difference in the game. Kyle Durant. There's been a few Durants that have been associated with sports at Lynn Classical. Another youngster, he'll be around for a while. He's a sophomore. In for a strike. Smith starting his 3rd inning of work. Thought about it, started to pull the trigger, and just held up as it broke down and away. Just in time, and it's 1-1. Low for a ball. Classical had 2 runners in the first, a single and a walk. The single got thrown out stealing. They had 2 runners in the second. A walk. It looked like they had a base hit, dropped in the right field, but it was the second baseman right field looked like they might have a shot at it. The runner at first had a hold up and wound up being forced at second base for a force out rather than a base hit. And now the count favors Durant, 3-1. He'll be very fussy here, trying to become a base runner. With the top of the order on deck, Nico Galizzi. This pitch has to be picture perfect to swing at it. And that's ball 4. So Smith has walked a hitter in each of the 3 innings. Diving back at first, high throw Durant. Classical doesn't want to be losing going into that 6th, 7th innings because Saugus got that big guy Todd Tringali that they can bring in. The bunt, he almost pushed it past. Nice play by the pitcher. Galizzi almost pushed that by the pitcher. Smith just got to it and throws Galizzi out at first. Classical gets their first runner in scoring position for Brett Buckland, who drew a walk. They made a couple of real nice plays. One great play in center field in the first inning. Hit solidly to center field, deep. Going back. Now they're going to tag up and go to third. And they actually went, that was like tagging up 1.5 times. He went quite a ways toward third base, realized it was going to get caught, went back and tagged up. Buckland hit that a long way. Rust made the play for the second out. So the tying runners at third with 2 outs for Deshaun Anderson, who popped to the first base in foul territory behind first base. High and away for a ball. Down and away for a ball. High and it's 3-0. Tayshawn's a good hitter, but I don't think he has the green light on 3-0. In for a strike. Now he's set. If he likes this pitch, I think he has the green light now. But again, it's got to be a good pitch he can handle. Smith has to come in with 2 more. Anderson asked for time and got it. And steps back in and we'll get ready to get back for the 3-1 pitch from Smith to Anderson. And that's ball 4, second walk in the inning. So first and third now, and we're almost in the same situation as Saugus was in. The pitcher was up with the runner at third. The difference is Smith, the pitch for Saugus, there was only 1 out. He just had to put the ball in play. Dow was up with a chance to get himself back in the game, but there's 2 outs. So he can't just put the ball in play. He's got to get a base hit or an error, wild pitch. Let's see what they do if Anderson goes to second base. Here's again a decent lead at first. Takes off, they let him go. He hesitates, looking to draw a throw. So second and third now for Aiden Dow. Haskell looking for a little 2-out lightning. Fishing wide for a ball. Brendan Landon, the on-deck kid, hoping he gets a shot because that could possibly mean that Classical is tied or taking the lead. Anderson getting a good jump at second base. Swing and a miss. He took something off. They lobbed the ball, and it wasn't strike 3. The Saugus dugout yelling to everybody. Stanton, the catcher, just lobbed the ball back to the mound. Smith started to walk off the mound. Glasgow was almost given a gift. Smith pulled the string on that pitch to Dow. He was way out in front, and the count goes 1-2. Solid shot, but right at the right fielder, over his head. He came in to make the play, and it went over his head, a double for Dow. And that 2-out lightning comes true for Glasgow. Dow helps himself. Looked like an easy play for the right field. Looked like it was right at him. And the last minute, he took a couple of steps towards home plate and watched it sail over his head. So the walks hurt, as they normally do. And now it's Glasgow with a 1-run lead. Hit the shot. Long throw across the diamond. Nice play by the shortstop, Paolo. Good stretch by Graffio at first. They get the third out, but Dow comes up with a big 2-out double. And the score reverses. It was Saugus leading by 1. Now we finished 3. Classical has that 1-run lead. It's Classical 2, Saugus 1 at the end of 3. Middle of the order for Saugus, 3, 4, and 5. C.J. Graffio drew a walk his first time up. He was the one they threw as a curve. They changed his jersey number. He's the Sachem first baseman. He had me nervous for a while when I walked in. They were all wearing T-shirts that said Band of Brothers, no numbers on the back. And I said, uh-oh. Because I know, I believe it was Saturday, might have been yesterday, Sunday, when they had the Pete Freitas game. Hamilton won them against the Prep. They all wore jerseys with number 3 that said Freitas on the back. So it would have been very hard to score that game. We're glad they had a great turnout. Congratulations to Hamilton Wenham. I believe it was their PTA that made a sizable contribution. They run that every year, so that's outstanding that they do that. On 4 pitches, Graffio draws his second walk. That's the second walk given up by Dow. Jackson Stanton thought he had a base hit. Brett Buckland took it away, making a diving catch, picking it off the grass in left center field. Now we'll go back to the stretch. They're not getting too far off the base after he picked the runner off. He throws over anyway. Some of the fans are yelling, "Balk." Foul tip held on to by Galizzi. Dow starting his 4th inning of work. He got himself a 2-1 lead with his 2-out double. Diving back at first again is Graffio. Wide for a ball. Dow is a 3-sport athlete. He plays basketball, football. Wide again for a ball. I've done a few of his games. Little League, Babe Ruth, high school. Jammed him and he fouls it back in the seats. In the condemned seats. The ceiling is falling down here at Frazier Field. Little by little, a couple of times there were big chunks. So the city has picked up another expense to do something with this place. Will they take it down completely or try to refurbish? They're moving the Saugus coach back to the first base coach's box. He was halfway between first base and right field. wide for a ball. So the count goes full, 3-2. Dow maybe paying a little too much attention to that runner at first base, who was only getting about a foot or two off the bag. And that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. First and second for the Sachems. Jack Devereaux hit it hard, but hit it right at Anderson at third base, who threw him out, leading off the second inning. The wheels turning. Deshaun Anderson went to talk to Aiden Dow. Devereaux goes to talk to his coach at third. We're in the top of the fourth. Glasgow has just taken the lead over Saugus after Saugus led 1-0. It's now 2-1 to Rams, but Saugus right back at it with back-to-back walks. They get the bunt down. Safe at first, he beat it. Dow was looking to third. He had no play at third. Devereaux winds up with a base hit. Anderson was charging. Filippo couldn't get over there quick enough. Seeing there was no play, took a little too long. And by the time they made the throw to first, Devereaux beat it. Grant Rust is perfect. Singled, stole 2 bases, and scored the 1 run that gave Saugus their lead. Glasgow will bring the infield in. High and tight for a ball. So walks hurt Smith in the third inning. Both walks came around to score. And now walks are on the verge of hurting Dow as he's walked 2. And given up the bunt hit. Nobody out, the bases loaded. Hit foul back and out of play. Held up, but the pitch was in anyway. First base coach is going right by the letter of the law. He was way down the right field line. Coach, and he told him get in the box. He is as far down the first base side of the coach's box as you can get. Hit to left field. On his horse going back. Can't get there. It's in for a hit. Everybody had to wait to see if the ball would be caught, so it's a very long single. Rust is 2 for 2. He's got an RBI. Wilkins off the line for a left-handed hitter had to go a long way. And everybody waiting to see if it would be caught. So it winds up a long single and the bases are still loaded. For the pitcher, Skylar Smith. He knocked in the first run, bouncing it to the first baseman with a runner at third. Hit foul back. So the first walk is scored to tie it up. The second walk is at third base. Saugus looking to get the lead right back after Glasgow took it away. Line to center field, right at Buckland. Makes the catch. Safe at the plate, a collision. Galisi, the runner at third, started to come home and then had to go back and tag up. The throw was just a little, the bounce. Galisi had to go get the bounce. And the runner slid into him hard. So Smith gets his second RBI. The collision at the plate. Galisi couldn't hold on to the ball, getting knocked down. Saugus has regained the lead. Both walks have scored, just like the 2 walks for Classical scored. And now it's second and third with 1 out. Ryan Belleville got a base hit. Up and away for a ball. He got the base hit and it promptly got picked off. Missing for ball 2. Looked like they might have a play at the plate on that throw because a lot to ask for the high school kid to make that play. He's a long way away. He got the throw to the plate, short hop, and that one hit him on the foot. That's a break for Classical. That would have been a wild pitch and a run. So the bases are loaded once again. Anthony Cogliano, the right fielder, bounced out third to first, leading off the third inning. High for a ball. All of a sudden, Dow has lost it a little bit here. He's walked 2, hit a batter, and some of his pitches have not been close. On the inside corner for a strike. The 1-1 pitch up and coming. Hit past first base, foul. Went about halfway downfield, then skipped out and stayed foul the rest of the way. And the count is 1-2. Little pool cue shot down the first baseline. Hit foul again. So we do it again at 1-2. Off the catcher, the wild pitch is going to bring the run home. It bounced down and in. So that takes away the force in any base for Classical, a possible double play. Another ball solidly hit, slicing foul past first base again. Once again, 2-2 pitch up and coming. Hit in the right field for a base hit. They hold the runner at third. Number 9 hitter comes through with a big base hit for an RBI. Classical not out of it yet. First and third with 1 out. Top of the order, Ronnie Paolo called on the strikes leading off the ball game, and kind of stepped away from a pitch that was high and tight, got a bat on it and popped it right to the first baseman. So let's see if Saugus does anything with the runner at first. The bottom of the order coming through. The 2 walks leading the inning hurt. But now 6, 7, and 8, and 9 have done the damage. 6, 7, and 9 get hits. Number 8 got hit by the pitch to keep it alive. And now another base hit into left center field. And Saugus they're not solidly hitting it, but they're finding spots, open gaps. First and second now. Velasquez is the 9th hitter in the inning. He has flied out and popped up. The runners take off, and they steal second and third. Second time they've stolen third. And there's another hit into short left field. That's going to be 2 more runs. And the runner's going to go to second on the throw. All of a sudden, that 2-1 lead has got blown apart here. Graffio led this inning with the first of back-to-back walks and scored the first run. He's up for the second time. 4 hits, 2 walks, and a hit batsman, and a partridge in a pear tree. Saugus has put 6 on the board. He's the 10th hitter and he's 1 out. Two pitches way over Graffio's head. In for a strike. Graffio draws his 3rd walk. Jackson Stanton, he drew the second of 2 consecutive walks to start this inning. He's up for the second time. Wide for a ball. He's the 11th hitter in the inning. Reaches for that one, hits it up in the seats. Saugus has not really tattooed the ball here. They've just Just a little couple of Texas League pop flies, but finding open spaces. Helped up by 3 walks and a hit batsman. Hit in the air outside first base. Lannon has a shot. Makes the play. The runner tags up to go to third. Out. Easy play. Great throw by Lannon. So Lannon to Anderson gets the third out. But 11 hitters come to the plate. 7 of them score. Two of the 3 walks scored. The hit batsman scored. And they got a lot of those Texas League hits. And now Skylar Smith, going into the bottom of the 4th inning, all of a sudden finds himself with a rather big cushion. He gave up 2 in the 3rd to put his team behind 2-1. Walks were big at that point. And now walks started the uprising for Saugus. And they took full advantage, putting 7 runs on the board. And that 2-1 classical lead is already evaporated. It's now 8-2 Saugus as we move into the bottom of the 4th. So we're halfway through the ball game. They got the 7 runs with 4 hits. There was a wild pitch thrown in as well. Three walks, 2 of them to the same hitter, Graffio, who's walked all 3 times he's been up. Classical has a mountain to climb. Jared DiFilippo, the shortstop, will lead it off. 6, 7, 8. DiFilippo, Daniel Ortiz, Ronald Torres. As we mentioned, Smith now with a very big cushion. A 6-run lead. DiFilippo drew a walk his first time up. And he wound up getting forced at second on that strange force out 9-6. Looked like a base hit. And the right fielder threw him out at second. Taking a hit away from Ortiz. Hit on the ground. Big hop for the third baseman. Pagliarulo throws out DiFilippo. 1 pitch, 1 out. Nunez was the other half of that force out. He thought he had a base hit dumping into right field. But DiFilippo had to hold up because it was very short right field. The second baseman and right fielder were both converging on the ball. When it dropped, DiFilippo did his best to try to get to second, excuse me. But they had the easy force at second. The play went 9-6. One of those unusual force outs at second. Hit in the air to short left field. Going back to shortstop. 8 or 10 steps out in the outfield grass. Paolo, the shortstop, makes the play for the second out. 2 up, 2 down. Ronald Torres is the DH. He's hitting for the left fielder, James Wilkins. Hit foul. Good curveball. That dropped in for a strike. Didn't miss by much. That's a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. Missing inside. And again, deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He jumped on that curveball, ripped it into center field. Kyle Durant, the right fielder, drew one of the 2 walks that Smith gave up in the 3rd. Both of them scored at the time, giving Classical a 2-1 lead. But Saugus wiped that out with a big 6 runs in the top of the 4th. High and away for a ball. Hit in the air, that's going to go out of play. So Smith has walked 4 in the first 3 innings. One of them scored. One of them was wiped out in that force out. Actually, 2 of them scored. In for a strike. In the right field for a base hit. 6-run deficit. Classical can't take a chance on the base pass. They go station to station. So it's first and second with 2 outs. So after 2 quick outs, 2 base hits. Nico Galizzi singled, and he set up the 2 runs that gave Classical the lead. He laid down a perfect sacrifice, pushing the runners over, and they scored on Dow's 2-out double. Places it foul off to the right side. He singled and got thrown out trying to steal second base. Smith took a long time, worried about the runner at second with a 6-run cushion. And then just as he got set to throw, Galizzi asked for time and got it. If you're Smith there, your coach, you want to tell him, throw the ball, don't worry about it. You don't want to hurt yourself not throwing it. Way inside, almost hit Galizzi. Big hop to the second baseman. They get the force at second. So 2 hits with 2 outs go by the boards. We've completed 4 here in this Northeastern Conference battle. Saugus leading Lynn Classical 8-2. Five, 6, and 7 for Saugus. Jack Devereaux grounded to the 3rd, singled in that big 4th inning and scored a run. So he's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Dow still out there. And the first pitch is a call strike. Hit off the third baseman's glove. Tough play for Anderson. A base hit for Devereaux. Anderson had to go for it, try to stop her from. If that goes to the shortstop, DiFilippo has no chance of throwing him out. Grant Rust singled, stole 2 bases, scored, giving Saugus their 1-0 lead. Last time up, he hit the longest ball all day for Saugus. He hit a long fly ball to deep left field that bounced in for a base hit. Great play by Anderson. And they picked the runner at second. Big time play. Anderson with a great play. Landon with a great throw. And Ortiz with a nice tag at second base. So Rust actually gets credit for a sacrifice because the runner got to second base. Great play all the way around. Anderson made a tremendous play, a strong throw. Landon, no waste of time, rifled it to the second baseman. Ortiz put the tag down. They had the runner out. Hit solidly right at the shortstop. So with the base hit, it turns out to be a 1-2-3 inning. Klaus will turn the double play. Dow only has to face 3 hitters in the inning, even though he gives up the base hit. Glasgow will move into the bottom half of the 5th. It'll be 2, 3, and 4. I know we had warm-up in the bullpen for Saugus. I don't know if Smith is going to come out or if we got a new pitcher. I think Grant Rust, the center fielder, was going to be the new pitcher. It's funny, I looked down, for a long time, they had warm-up action down there in the bullpen. And it was a left-hander. And now they make the change, and it's going to be the center fielder, Russ, who's, excuse me, it's not, it's still Smith. I thought that was 12. It's still 13, so it is still Smith. A big 4th inning for Saugus. They had 4 hits, 3 walks, a hit batsman, throwing a sacrifice fly and a wild pitch, and they scored 7 runs to wipe out a classical 2-1 lead. We mentioned something had to give. Both teams were looking for win number 7. Both teams were 6-2. Looking to get a little closer to that 10 wins, qualifying for the States. So Brett Buckland, Deshaun Anderson, Aiden Dow. The 3 hitters to face Skylar Smith, who will be starting his 5th inning of work. That 4th inning, he gave up 2 hits with 2 outs, got out of the inning on a force out. That's the only inning he didn't walk a batter. He had 4 walks in the first 3 innings. 2 of them scored. First pitch popped way up in the air into short center field. Rust, the center fielder, and as Frank Carey would say, made the one-handed catch. Frank is doing some games here on TV 15, and he's marveled at the way a lot of these young people are now doing everything in one hand. Deshaun Anderson pumped to the first baseman, walked and scored. in for a strike. He scored the second run, giving Glasgow a 2-1 lead at the time. Hit in here. Long run for the right fielder, first baseman. What a tremendous play by the first baseman. Over the shoulder. Out. It just popped into foul territory. Went way behind the first base bag. Reached over his shoulder and took it away from the right fielder. What a great play by C.J. Graffio. Aiden Dow hit it solidly, but right at the second baseman. The last time up, he lined a shot over the right fielder's head for a double, knocking in the 2 runs. First 2 pitches miss. Up and away for a ball. On 4 pitches, Dow draws the 5th walk given up by Smith. Brendan Lannon fly to center, grounded to short. He hit it solidly his last time up, but hit it right at the shortstop. In for a strike. Off the shortstop's glove. Landon actually stepped back. Look, he was stepping away from that pitch. Just reached out and got the top of the bat on it. Got it right over the second base bag. Paolo stopped it from going to the outfield, but Landon's got a base hit. So for the second inning in a row, with 2 outs, Glasgow puts 2 on. Jared DiFilippo walked and grounded out third to first. Down and in for a ball. Missing down and in, 2-0. Hit foul, looked like it went off the catcher. 2-1 the count on the Rams shortstop. Having a very good year. Defensively, he's playing well. Offensively, he has some big hits. Line to left field, taking a couple of steps back is the left fielder, Falaska. Philip will hit it well, but hit it right at the left fielder. So once again, Classical leaves 2 more. We've completed 5 here at Frazier Field. Saugus comfortably ahead of Classical 8-2. 8-9-1 for Saugus as we start the 6th inning. Ryan Beliveau has singled and got picked off, got hit by a pitch and scored. So he's 1 for 1 with a run scored. Up for the 3rd time against Dow, who will start his 6th inning of work. In for a strike. Just past the reach of Landon at shortstop. Line shot. Belleville's on for the 3rd time. Third straight inning, Saugus got the leadoff hitter on. Anthony Cogliano grounded the 3rd, singled in a run, and scored a run in that big 4th inning. So he's 1 for 2 in RBI and a run scored. Pushes the bunt foul down first base. Wide for a ball. Tries the button, fouls it off. The 2-2 pitch up and coming. Hits it right at the Saugus dugout, protected by that fence. Slicing it foul again down the right side. The baseball's flying all over the place here. We'll do it again at 2-2. Way wide for ball 3. Payoff pitch up and coming from Dow to Cogliano. And it's ball 4. And it's going to bring Mike Zukowski out of the dugout. The young freshman, Anthony Marino, will be the new pitcher. 2 on, nobody out for Ronnie Paolo. Was struck out, popped up, singled a run and scored a run in that big 4th inning. So he's 1 for 3. Gets the bunt down. Out at first base. Nice play by Marino. Good strong throw. Bang, bang play at first. Nice bunt by Paolo. Second and third as Klasko brings the infield in. Zach Velasca flied the center, popped to short, singled in 2 runs. He's got a chance to single in 2 more. Curb just broke in time to catch the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Nice stop by Galizzi on a pitch in the turf. Hit in the center field. Just got a piece. A late swing down the lower part of the bat, but he punches it out into center field for a base hit for an RBI. That run is charged to Dow. CJ Graffio hasn't been up officially. He scored a run. He's walked 3 times. Hit in the air to short left field. Coming on is Wilkins to make the play. Not deep enough for that runner to score. So 2 away. They finally get Graffio out. Jackson Stanton flied to center, walked and scored, popped to first. His walk and pop to first both came in the 4th inning when Saugus sent 11 to the plate, scored their big 7 runs. High and tight. They throw the ball down. They throw the ball home. And they get the runner trying to score. So the play goes 2-6-2. Galizzi made the strong throw. They had second base stolen, but they try to get home, and they throw him out. So Dow finally comes to a close on the score sheet. He gives up 9 runs. They were all earned. 8 hits. He walked 5. And he hit a batter. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 for Klasko in the 6th inning against Smith, who will start his 6th inning of work. All the damage by Saugus done in the 4th inning. They sent 11 to the plate. 4 hits, 3 walks, a hit batsman. Throwing a wild pitch and a sacrifice fly. And they scored 7. And it put Klasko in a very big hole. Les Classical could come with a couple of big rallies in the last 2 innings. It's going to be Saugus who's moving on to their 7th win because both teams were 6-2 coming in. Daniel Ortez thought he had a base hit. Dropped it in the right field, but the runner at first had a hold to see if the ball would be caught, wound up a force at second, and he popped up to the shortstop. So in both at-bats, both putouts against Ortiz have been the shortstop. One on the force at second, the other one on the pop. Hangs up and in for a ball. Drops down and away for a ball. Down and in. 3-1. In for a strike. So the count goes full to the Rams' second baseman. Hit in the air at the short left field. Long run. Coming in, diving, and making the catch out in left field is Velasco. At first, he wound up flat on his chest on the grass, but made the play. One away in the 6th. Arnold Torres, the DH, ground to the third and lined the single in the center field. High for a ball. Smith has thrown a lot of pitches. He's walked 5. He's going full on a few hitters. Missing inside for a ball. Three and 0. In for a strike. Torres taking all the way. That's going to take a big hop for the second baseman. You pray while they're out there saying, if they do hit them, I hope I get a very big hop. And that's exactly what happened to Ryan Beliveau. Almost bounced up and hit him in the chest. It was a big hop. So 2 quick outs in the 6th. Calderon has walked and singled and scored a run. So he's 1 for 1 with a run scored. Hits it to short. Long throw across the diamond. A very quick 1-2-3 inning in the sixth. That's our first 1-2-3 inning by either team in the ball game. Classical is now down to their last 3 outs. Saugus with an inning left as we go into the seventh. Saugus 9, Classical 2. 4, 5, and 6 for Saugus. Jackson Stanton, the catcher. Fly to center, walked and scored, popped to first. He was the hitter when they tried the double steal and the runner got thrown out the plate. So he's back in the batter's box to start the seventh inning. Anthony Marino's starting an inning for the first time. Hit way up in the air. Anderson with a long run, runs out of real estate as it's out of play. And the count goes 2-1. Down and away for a ball. Hit foul to the backstop, and the count goes full. Swing and a miss. Comes back and gets him. Good job by the young freshman. That's the first strikeout since the first inning. And only the second strikeout in the game for either team. Saugus has struck out twice. Classical hasn't struck out at all. Swing and a miss. Jack Devereaux grounded to third. Singled and scored. Singled. So he's 2 for 3 with a run scored. Facing Marino for the first time. Curveball hangs high. Line to the left field for a base hit. He's got his third hit. Grant Rust has singled and scored. Singled in a run and scored. And sacrificed. That was the play. He bunted. Anderson threw him out at first. The runner took too wide a turn at second. And Landon threw it over to Ortiz. They got the runner out for the double play. But he gets credit for a sacrifice because the runner at first reached second base. So he's 2 for 2 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Knocked in a run, scored a run in that big fourth inning. Foul tip to the backstop. I think Galisi got a piece of that one. High for a ball. Marino's not that big on the mound, but he's got some mustard on the ball. High and away. Swing and a miss. The count goes full. The runner takes off. Strike 3 called. Marino comes back again. Devereaux was running on the pitch. He steals second base. Skylar Smith, the pitcher. Bounced to the first baseman, getting an RBI, knocking a runner from third. Hit a sacrifice fly for a second RBI in the fourth. Grounded out short to first as last time. So he's 1 for 2. He's got 2 RBI. And he's pitched a complete game so far. Swing and a miss. Marino has been impressive for a freshman coming in. Good curveball, drops in for a strike. He's out there like he's been doing it for 4 years. Broke down and away. Smith thought about it, held up. And we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hit foul back. We'll do it again at 2-2. That one goes to the backstop. Try to put a little too much mustard on that one. Another full count, 3-2. Pitcher against pitcher here. Wide for ball 4. So it's a back and forth inning for Marino. A strikeout, a hit, a strikeout, a walk. Ryan Beliveau is perfect. Singled, got hit by a pitch and scored, singled and scored. So he's 2 for 2. And has scored twice. Low for a ball. They throw it down, and they get him. Nice throw by Galizzi. Good tag by Ortiz. Saugus is down. So Marino comes in, does a nice job. He comes in the 6th in relief. He gives up a couple of hits, a walk, strikes out 2, doesn't give up a run. And looked good on the mound. That's good for the future. He's only a freshman. And we'll move into the bottom of the 7th inning. Smith will take the mound, trying to get a complete game. He's 3 outs away, with Saugus leading 9-2. Top of the order for Classical. We've gone this far. I like to mention it because the young man's doing a terrific job. Classical has a big void in their lineup. Probably would have been their ace pitcher, David Bernard. He got hurt in football and is out for the season in baseball, but you wouldn't know it. He's in uniform. He's on the bench. He goes to practice. He works with the kids. He can play catch. He can throw the ball. He can play pepper with them. He just can't go on the mound and throw because of his leg, his foot. And that's a shame. That's a big, big loss for Classical. Nico Galizzi singled, sacrificed, bounced into a fielder's choice. He's 1 for 2. He made that nice throw behind first base. C.J. Grappio, the first thing he did was almost like a catcher throwing his helmet away. He threw his hat off his head and then ran to go get the ball and just had enough room to make the play. So 1 away in the 7th for Brett Buckland, who walked, and both times after that he flied to center field. He made a couple of big defensive plays. One great play in the first inning, taking a base hit away, picking it off the grass, and made a nice running catch going from almost all the way over to left field from center field. Hit foul. One, two, the count to the Rams center fielder. Brett's a pretty good golfer, too. Lined in the center field for a base hit. The only inning Classical didn't have a base runner was the 6th when they went 1, 2, 3. Deshaun Anderson is the hitter. Pitching low for a ball. Low again for a ball. Anderson has popped to first base twice. Sam was in between. He drew a walk and scored the run at the time that gave Classical their only lead of the game at 2-1, way back in the 3rd inning. In for a strike. Hit the 3rd. Big hop. They'll go to first with it. They throw Anderson out. And Classical is down to their last out. Aiden Dow, he didn't stay in the game. He came out of the game. He's going to hit. So I'm assuming he's hitting for Marino. Now I guess he did stay in the game. I thought they were going to put him in first and Landon in left field. I credit Wilkins with that catch in the sixth inning. I guess it was Lannon. So it was Wilkins that came out of the game. Hit in the air. Long run for the center fielder. As Frankie Carey would say, another one-handed catch. And we mentioned something had to give. Both teams were 6-2. Somebody had to go to 7-2, and it's Saugus. As Dow pops up for the third out. Smith gets a complete game. Gives up 2 runs. They were earned. 6 hits. He walked 4. Didn't strike out a batter. Saugus had a 1-0 lead in the second on a pitcher bouncing out to first base with the runner scoring. Classical got their only lead. A walk to Durant and a 2-out walk to Anderson. Durant went to third on a sacrifice fly or fly ball. Anderson stole second, and then Aiden Dow doubled them both in, and Classical had a 2-1 lead. But then came the dreaded fourth inning. Classical saw Saugus get the lead right back. They sent 11 hitters to the plate. They got 4 hits, 3 walks, a hit batsman, a wild pitch, a sacrifice fly. They put 7 on the board to put the game away. At the time, it was 8-2. They added a run in the 6th. A single and a walk started the inning. A sacrifice moved them up. A base hit by Velasquez scored a run to make it 9-2, and that was the final score. As Saugus will go to 7-2, Classical will drop to 6-3. For Classical, Galizzi had a base hit. Buckland drew a walk, was on base twice with a base hit. Anderson drew a walk, scored a run, made a couple of nice plays at third. Dow had a double and a walk, knocking in 2. Lannon had a base hit, made a couple of nice defensive plays. DiFilippo drew a walk and played well at shortstop. Ronald Torres had a base hit, and Kyle Durant had a hit and a walk and scored a run for Classical, but not enough. That big 7-run fourth inning, the difference, as Saugus wins it 9-2 to go 7-2. As we mentioned, Classical will drop to 6-3. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.